What is up, guys? Smooth Comics here, and I want to talk about learning to work with scrap and how I make my videos, how I got to make my videos. So when you're starting from the bottom, you just have to make things from what you have, from what you can. Now, a lot of people talk about college and how if I got into college, I could have learned what I wanted to learn, and I'll tell you, college is not what you think it is. And how I make my art and stuff, that this is freaking Photoshop. One of the most broke down, oldest things in existence when it comes to art and animation. Yeah, I get videos together. To make my videos, I draw everything on a literal phone app. And it's not a super expensive phone app either. It's literally Sketchbook. Literally Sketchbook. And I draw everything I can from there. Then I save it on my OneDrive and edit and try to edit together in Photoshop. Wait, why use Photoshop? Because Photoshop gets the job done. What's this? Edit. My goal was to make this thing look like how a comic book, it moves from one to one, and you know, this got the job done. It's moving from one to one. I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't care how old and broke it looks. If the story's good, it's good. You have to learn to make with what you've got as an artist. And for those, well, if you went to college, you would have learned all this stuff. You know, I did go to college for animation. Guess what? They kept refusing the animation classes. Why? Why? What did you do? I didn't do anything. Okay, I came here to learn about animation, learn all that stuff. They just refused it. They just kept putting me in all these classes that have nothing to do with anything. Meanwhile, I'm working on my art skills, my drawing art skills. In fact, while I was in early college, they put me in all these classes. They made me do these, products like this. I went in 3D design. The title of the class was 3D design. You know what they taught me? They taught me stuff like this and drawing stuff like that. They didn't actually teach me. 3D design had nothing to do with computers. So college is a complete scam. That's what I'm trying to tell you. College, they don't give you what you actually want. They keep putting you in these classes that have nothing to do with anything. Meanwhile, you're just kind of stuck there paying thousands and thousands of dollars to not learn what you wanted to learn. It wasn't until way later on where I finally got into some actual art class, into some actual animation. I had two actual animation classes, one for lighting, one for 3D lighting, one that was basic animation. That was it. I got in one coding class, which was really hard. I ended up having to retake it multiple times. But, you know, just realized that, like, eventually I got to a point where in order to save face, because, like, this whole time, apparently there's an option to go up for an animation pathway. Well, if you get selected, they'll teach you all the classes you want to know. It's just that, no BS, none of that. And guess what? They rejected me because I didn't have enough stuff. I didn't have enough of the actual animation. Well, maybe if you put me in the actual, animation class, I wouldn't have to do that. But they didn't. They didn't. So I ended up wasting $1,000. In order to save face, I had to change my entire career choice and move into comic books. Which, I think it turns out I'm better suited out for that anyway. So, thanks. But I just want to tell you guys how I come up with these. I made all these drawings and stuff. I did it just on a phone app. And now, for a comic book, you need some good drawings and stuff. I'm going to make a video form. I'm going to have it all the drawings edited in a video format. And then, when it gets popular enough, I'll pay some publishing company to print a physical version of it. You can see how I've gone through this stuff, remade. You can see how the ones that are blank are the ones that's still being in production. And I'm using Photoshop, and I'm not using. And you can tell my videos and stuff. Let's go over to my videos. I make these in Photoshop. I edit them together, like my 20-minute videos. Edit it together. I make that in Flip-A-Chick, because you got to make with what you've got. Edit them together, draw them all together, get some music. And you're saying, man, this looks broke. You're working with scrap. Well, that's how life is sometimes, you know. Things don't go as planned. Sometimes you get ripped off. Sometimes you get cheated. College is a freaking scam. Now, the only time you should go to college if you absolutely need to. No, here's the funny thing. No, if you go to LinkedIn Learning, there's courses that they'll literally teach you the stuff that I actually wanted to learn. They actually taught me stuff I actually wanted to learn. I ended up learning way more there. Go over to Blender. I learned way more on LinkedIn. And later I ended up canceling LinkedIn because apparently See, I have all this stuff saved. Things that I wanted to do. I had all this stuff saved from all these courses. I mean, this is just one of the basic ones. One of the basic ones I made. These are the basics, you know, your basic stuff. And to tell you, stuff like that. Because I would try to make sculptings and stuff. Those are just the basics. Of course, I did other stuff, but all in all, college freaking scammed me. So I'm stuck here working with essentially scrap in order to get this stuff done. It took me forever just to learn how to record myself and the screen. I had to do some other stuff. And these are problems that you're always going to face in life. You have to learn to work with scrap, especially when things don't go according to plan. And you know what? One way or another, I'm getting there. One way or another, I'm getting there. You can't accuse me of being lazy or being a bad student. It's not my fault they kept refusing the classes. You know, it's sometimes you're at an area where you might have to, you know, change course, change direction, just in order to save face. I moved over to Rumble. It turns out Rumble is a far less competitive program. Rumble is a far less competitive program. Not or platform, whatever it's called. See, I'm getting more views over there than anything else. Rumble is way less competitive. So a lot of my stuff is going over there. And these are the problems you're going to have to face. Right now, for my job, I work at freaking UPS. I'm not a driver either, because UPS, they treat you like freaking slaves. I've known people who've worked there 10 years, and they still just keep refusing full-time. Why? Because they're assholes. That's why. UPS is just, they're full of a bunch of assholes who just keep refusing full-time. So you know what I did? I kept double shifting for as long as possible and stacking money there. You have to learn to work with basically nothing. I've learned to work with basically nothing at all. I edited all of that together in Photoshop. I record from the phone drawings. I post it. I edit it together in Photoshop in order to make some good videos. And you say, oh, that's all kind of lazy stuff. My response to that, you still watched it. You gotta work with what you've got. Working with scrap is basic survival. Learning to work with scrap and shit is survival at this point. These are the things you're going to have. These are things you're going to have to do if you want to be an artist. And it's not just for animation. Ripped me off. This is just how stuff is sometimes. You have to work with barely anything. And it feels like, it takes so long for a lot of YouTubers to finally pop off. Hypnotic said that he was doing stuff for 2 whole years until he finally made money back. And I think Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he said that he continuously lost money until 2016 when things finally started getting better for him. And that's the stuff, you're just going to have to get used to this. As a YouTuber, as anything, as an artist, you got to be able to work with practically nothing. No, thanks guys. See you guys later.